Yeah. So let us start today's workshop. Um, I first welcome all of you and thank you for your time and thank you for the overwhelming response that you all gave. Today, we all know why we are here. Today, we all know that what kind of incidents has happened, and but we know this all just from just a news which we have heard from someone else. I heard it from two sources, and I haven't seen this news in the newspaper or some other media. You might have seen, I have no idea about it, but this kind of um, case we have heard in the past as well, and therefore many parents had this concern as to what should be our strategy, or and you might be having much more concerns about it. So we decided to have this workshop, and in this workshop, there are two parts. There are two parties involved in this case. One party is the government of Sweden and its laws, and the other party is the parents. So, when we are here, when we have decided to stay in Sweden, and this is our choice, by our choice, we have come here, right? So, it is. So we have to follow the law of the land. That is very clear to everyone, and I'm very sure that you all accept this fact, and you're all you. I mean, you are with me. You agree with this thing, and so the other part, and it is not whether we like the laws, whether we don't like it, or whatever our opinion about it can differ. We can agree with it or not, and we can give our suggestions or something like that in the newspaper or to the government directly, but we like what is in our hands is our side, how we want to how in what way we want to parent our kids, and our parenting style and our strategy, our issues, our concerns, how we solve these issues. So that is what is in our hand, that is what is in our control. So why not explore those strategies, or why not see what we can do? And therefore we have organized this workshop. So before I start, I would like to give one statement which is given by Freud, who is called as the father of psychology. He said, when I was studying psychology, I had six kids. And I had six different types of theories on child parenting, or how to raise a child. But when I got six kids, I had no theory, because every child is different. So every theory, sometimes the theories work, sometimes they don't work. So in the similar way, whatever we are going to talk today, it might work, it may not work with your kid. You may agree with it or you may not agree with it. So therefore, um, but we have some general tips and some general observations which we would like to put forward in front of you. Before I go there, before I start with my presentation, I have even I want to give you some more cases which I have come across, or which I have heard from some of my friends. 30 years back, there was a couple, an Italian couple, who had come to visit Sweden for 7 or 8 days, and somehow while they were on the streets roaming around, they the father actually slapped the child, and this immediately somebody on the streets, they called the police, and the police straight away picked him up, the father. The child was sent to a foster care home. This is again a heard story which I must tell you. I have not heard, I have not read it anywhere. This is one of my friend who has told me. So this is one thing. Then there is another case which I have experienced myself. As you all know that I'm working as a mother tongue teacher, and I got a call from Social Sterilse, and they had inquired about one child, and they asked me if you have seen any disturbance in the child, or have you seen that the child, has the child ever complained to you regarding his parents, or his or her parents. And unfortunately, I did not have any such observation. The child was very happy, and that child never showed me any such negative emotions or any disturbances, so there was nothing that I could tell them. But why I'm telling this you is that the government is very, very proactive. They are very vigilant. The citizens are very vigilant, and anybody can, they are very observant. Even in the bus, you must have observed it as well. So it's a very what I should say, very aware and very responsible society towards the kids, and they have adopted a Child Rights Act in 1979 when I was born. So it is that old. Their rules, their regulations are very old. So today I have called. We are joined by Mr. Tariq Sohail, and he's currently working with. I must tell you about him. He has done masters in psychology from Poland, and he's working with various Lara Forbindet, and he will be helping me to explain some child rights. He has also given me a, a, a website which you can all refer to. I will post that website on the group, WhatsApp group. And I will be showing that link on my presentation as well. And you can all go through that website, and it's a very good resource for you to, for all of us to know what are the laws of the, or what are the rights of the child, which are mentioned in this on this website. So before we start, or before I ask Mr. Tariq to take over, he will be talking for 10-15 minutes, and then I will start with my parenting tips and general, just some parenting tips. Because you know what, it's a huge group, and I'm not aware as to what is the age group of your kids. Some of you I know, so I know their age of their kids, but not everyone. So the tips that I have gathered is a very very common tips, and you might be already aware of them, and you might be already following those tips. I'm sure you're all aware parents, and so you must be aware of all those tips. But um but it's a good, I'll be giving some examples as well, so you might learn also something new. Okay, so before we start, let me tell you, can you see the presentation, because I can't see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Ah, great. Okay.
Thank you.
Uh, so, the purpose of the workshop, this session is for giving basic information about child rights and not for giving any legal advice. So, whatever we'll be talking here is not any legal advice. So, don't follow it blindly don't follow it. This is just an informative session. Hmm? Then the information on basic parenting practices, which I already told you, and to give a platform to express your concerns and your questions. So at the end of this session, we will open this platform for any questions and concerns. Okay, so what are the child rights? I would call Mr. Tariq Sohail Tariq to just take over, and whatever information or whatever experiences that you had, please share with us. Thank you. I'll switch off my camera so that Sohail, you can switch on yours. Hmm?
Yeah, I think, may I share my presentation? Is it possible? Uh,
Uh, then I will have to, mm,
okay. Mm.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
We
yeah.
could have. Yeah, please
Okay.
start.
Uh, I'll just start with the fact that we have a Child Rights Convention, UN Convention, and it has in 1989 they took the convention. They took the They ratified the convention, and it has about 54 articles or rules, and among them there are four rules that is important. Is the article number 2, the equal worth of all children; the article number 3, the best interest of the child; and article number 6, child's right to life and development; and article number 12, respect of children's view. These are the these are the union articles in the UN Convention, and about 195 countries ratified it. But in Sweden, it is made as a law. That means you can go to the court and file a case, and you can have a trial. It's really remarkable how how sensitive Sweden is in uh, protecting the rights of the child.
Mm.
Uh, uh, if I go to the second article, the every child is has every child has a equal worth. In a sense, you can't discriminate on the basis of skin care or ethnicity or uh, uh, language or religion. You can't do that. It's forbidden. And the best interest, the second one, the article number 3, the best interest of the child is to the government, okay, and the politician. If there is a case where you have to consider the maybe the other things, maybe the country's interest. So you have to always think about the child interest first. And the next one is article number 6, child's right to life and development. The uh, government has responsibility to save child's life, in a sense, in a war situation, and the government must ensure normal child's development. The child should have normal situation to develop. And number 12, we have the respect of children's view. We have to listen to the children. You can't ignore them. You can't ignore them because they are children. Okay, you have to listen to their children. Then you have to decide. And anyway, you have to respect their views when you are taking some decision. And the other things that we have from the local law, Swedish law, we have child marriage is forbidden in a sense that a child uh, is not, if you're not under 18, you're considered as a child. And um, even if you came here with a marriage where your partner is below the 18 old 18 age, then the marriage will not be accepted. You have to he or she should apply as a child to come in. So it's really important uh, to have uh, the marriage is important to be as after 18. Genital mutilation is also forbidden here. In this case, we are talking about female genital mutilation. Uh, uh, Mutilation. I think that in the male case, it is allowed if it is for the religious or health purpose. And then you have honor-related violence and oppression. In the case of to keep the honor of the family, uh, this kind of violence is not allowed in Sweden. And I have already talked about the equal value of all people. Uh, and we have also gender equality. You can't differentiate who is a son, who is a daughter, this kind of gender distinction. You can't discriminate someone on the basis of that. And there's another one, gender identity and sexual orientation. Uh, it doesn't matter in with what sex or gender the child is born. If it's important to have this, a child can have his or her own identity. It's a gender identity.
Mhm.
A child can be born as a boy, but afterward he or she feel like a, I think he can feel like a girl. Okay, so it is allowed to have a gender identity which is uh, not related to his or her sex or gender they are born with. And sexual orientation also, he or she can express that I have a different attraction. Is not the opposite attraction, the normal attraction we are talking about. Is uh, they have the they have the right to express that, and they have the right to practice it. And we have different organization. We have a organization called BRIS, which protect the children right in the society, and there is a helpline. Anyone can call there and ask for help. It is 116 111. That's a telephone number. And then come the social service. If the child's right haven't been protected or neglected at school, in family, in society, the social service come in, and anyone who become aware or suspect the child is in danger of any harm should report to social service. It is a law. You can break the law. That means when we are working at school, we are bound to report if we suspect, even suspect. It doesn't matter if it is real or not. If we suspect there is something going on and the child is in a danger of any harm, we have to report. And there is no way. Otherwise, we lose our job or will be will be reported. We are committing a crime if we don't report it. At school, you have administration people, teachers, and after school cares, and psychologists and counselor. What is called in Swedish is curator. They can help. Everyone can apply to support and protection. And the first step to see what can be done in the family. Okay, they don't take the social side doesn't come in and take the child for safety. The first option is always if we can solve it in the family, and then if the social service thinks that it can't be done, so then they will come in and they will ask for a court to take the child in their custody. And there's a there can be a problem there if they think that he need to take care of the child immediately, then they take it. And on the other hand, they are supposed to wait for the court order and to take the child in their custody. uh, some It's a different thing, but I think I should uh, point out something about the child healthcare also.
Yeah.
uh, in the healthcare system, we have the state is responsible for the specialized healthcare. That means when you go to the hospital, it's the state's duty. State is taking care of you. But when you are at the ward central in the primary healthcare, the municipality, the commune is taking care of you. And dental care up to 23 is free. So if you have, the child have a problem with the dental needs dental care, it is free up to 23. And uh, there's until the child turns 13, you can go in and take care of, you can know about your health situation. But after 13, you can't go to a vote central and book a time, because book an appointment, it is he or she has to do that. Then after 16, they can go and read their journal uh, record. And after 18, you don't have anything to do. Is the child is there, it is not, then he or she is not a child anymore, he's an adult. So he or she take care of their health situation, any contact with the primary health care or in the hospital. But we have to think that after 13 you don't have any right to go in and appoint or anything. You take care of your child's health. He or she has to decide or book an appointment at the both central and the local primary healthcare. Thank you for me.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. So, Tariq, you mean to say after 18 years, the parents cannot access the journal of the child,
mm.
right?
No, no.
Only if the
Yes,
child permits.
I don't think so because you have when you have to go into the this website, you have to have your ID. So you
Ah,
have this electronic ID, and the parents can log in. It's the
okay.
child. It's not child anymore. After 18, he's an adult or she is an adult,
Right.
and then you have to log in with your ID, and the parents can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm, mm,
Yeah. Thank
thank
you
you.
so much, Tariq, for the
Thank you.
wonderful information and the detailed information. This is
Thank you.
exactly what I was looking forward to.
Mm,
Yeah, thank you so much.
thank you.
And in short, we can also say this that we as a parent just cannot, it is not at all allowed to beat the child, no verbal or physical abuse, no shouting at the child, no threatening to the child. So even if the culture that we come from or the parenting that we have had, it's a very common thing that we have observed in our childhood. Ki, I'll say in Hindi because that it will give a good impact if we say it in our language कि अगर तुमने खाना नहीं खाया तो तुम्हें ऐसा करूंगी तुम्हें वैसा करूंगी आज आज अगर पढ़ाई नहीं की तो तुम्हें खाना नहीं मिलेगा those kind of threats, these are also threats, and this is also not permitted, if I understand right. Yes, Tariq, please say.
I think that it's not only that you are involved in this kind of situation. If
Um,
you see it and if you observe it and it happens every day, okay, if you see that your parents are every day quarreling with each other, and you are observer as a child, and you will just feel hurt, and then you can go to the social service and report it, and they can
mhm,
take care of your you take care of you
yeah,
in if you feel that if the child feels that he or she feels threatened in
mm,
this kind of family situation, whereas everyone is every day there is a quarrel
mm,
between the parents. So it is not only that you are involved in the situation, you are threatened, but you don't you feel threatened by the situation.
yeah,
It's also important.
yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you.
Yeah, and it is, and we always say as psychologists or counselors, we always say that fighting in couples is very normal. you know it's a very normal thing, and if you don't fight at all, then it is an abnormal family structure. So fighting is totally normal, but how you fight in, what are the kind of words that you select, the kind of statements that you make, the kind of emotions that you express in front of the child, those are these your body language. It If that is perceived as threatening by the child, then it is not normal, then it will be reported probably by it, and it can be I don't want to scare you, but that is a fact that it can be reported by your neighbors, by the bypassers, people in train or anywhere else. So we have to be really smart as a parent. I mean, now the list that follows, or the do's and don'ts that I'll be talking about, will also give help you out as to, I'm not going to teach you how to fight with each other. I'll be speaking about what are the do's and don'ts in parenting.